And action. So for the past 6 months, I've made some changes in my life as far as increasing physical activity. But before I actually talk about where I am now and where I want to go in the future, I want to start by introducing myself and giving you some idea of how I got to where I am right now. I am 45 years old, and I'm one of those guys that have been obese all of my life. When I was in school, I was never able to run a mile. It was primarily walking a mile, and was never even able to complete a pull-up. So that continued into my adulthood, and at my known heaviest, I remember weighing in at a doctor's office at 350 pounds. And I've done what a lot of people who are overweight or obese have done. You know that you need to lose the weight, so you lose a little bit of weight and then you almost immediately gain it back. And you do that a few times and you get frustrated with it, and then you just kind of stop worrying about it altogether. So that's been my life. Last February, I got to the point where I could not look at myself anymore. So the very first thing that I started doing was I just started tracking everything that I ate. Everything that had calories that I ate or drank, without exception, it got logged. It got weighed and it got logged. So, and that's all I did for about the first 6-8 weeks or so. And some weight started coming off right at the beginning just by doing that, because if you're not weighing and you're not really paying attention to what you eat, you'll realize just how out of control that can get. In about April, I started getting out and walking more. Now, I've walked a lot in the past, but of course, I fell off the routine and I just didn't do it for a while. So I started walking again in April, not at a very fast pace, just casual walking, with a goal of about 10,000 steps per day. Now, I was usually pretty consistent with that, about 5 to 6 days a week, 10,000 steps a day. That was usually a good estimate of what I could expect week to week. And the weight kept coming off, but I attribute that more to the really paying attention to what I was eating than the increased physical activity I was doing, even though that surely had some influence. So why am I making this video? So I want to be able to, in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now, to be able to look back on the time where I really increased my physical activity and I never turned back again. This is where I'm going from this point on. And I want to have this video there primarily so I can be looking at myself in the future, knowing that, look, this is what you're saying now. I in the past am holding you in the future accountable for this. So, but I've got to do my part, and I will. Now, I've been logging the food that I eat and the steps that I've been doing in an app, but it's one thing to be able to just go back and look at numbers on a screen. And it's entirely something different to actually be able to see myself at a given moment in time. And I really think that'll help me just get a different perspective on how far I've really actually come, rather than just seeing a different number on the screen. Also, I've gone online and this throughout the last couple of months or so, and I've gotten really into watching other fitness video channels. And one thing that is obviously true from the nature of those channels is you've got people that are on one end of the extreme, where they're already active, they're already fit, and they're doing these really interesting things that I watch and I want to be able to be a part of it. I don't want to be looking at myself wondering if I want to get on a plane somewhere. Am I going to feel the need to actually have to buy a second seat just for me to get on? I want to start participating in things, even if it's something solo. I don't want to just be sitting at home watching someone else enjoy their life on the screen. I want to be enjoying my life while I still have it. So as opposed to the people in those fitness channels, I am on the other end of that extreme. I don't know what it's like to be fit or healthy or active. So I am going to stumble all the way there, but I want these videos to document the ups and the downs along the way. So these videos are primarily for myself. If anybody else finds these and finds himself in a similar position and just takes something away from it, then that they can use to help move them along in their journey as well, then that's just a bonus onto that. So why am I making this video now? At the beginning of June, not June 1st, but somewhere in the first week of June, I decided to start start working on the Couch to 5K program. So I am not a runner, have never been a runner, and have a hard time just imagining myself as a runner. But it's something I want to challenge myself to do. And even though I'm obviously not starting with a marathon, I want to be able to build myself up. And I want to start with something that I am absolutely terrible at, and then see where I am after continued working at it. So obviously the plan when I started the Couch to 5K program was I want to be able to run a 5K one day. And it's that nebulous one day that didn't sit right with me. Because how often is it that you say, I'm going to do this one day, and then that one day just never comes? I want to travel one day. Have said that all my life. Have never been able to do that. So I don't want to sort of pat myself on the back and say, yes, this is something you're going to do one day. It's like, no. This is something you're going to do on this specific day. And I did the most reasonable thing possible. I signed up for a 4-mile run on July 4th. Now, this was about 3.5 weeks after I had registered, so there's not that much time. And it's not my intention on just going out there and just cranking out 4 miles running. That's not going to happen. My goal right now is just to finish. I want to have something in the bag saying, I did this, I participated, I finished. No DNF allowed. I want a time. Now, I don't care how long that time is. I want a time, though. So my only goal going into this is to finish. I don't care if I am the last person that crosses the finish line. Initially, I said I don't care if the race volunteers go home before I actually finish the route. And looking back on it now, that's not entirely true, because if they shut everything down, I go down as a DNF rather than actually getting even a slow time. So no, finishing and getting a time is the goal here. And fortunately, it's only 4 miles, and I know I can comfortably walk that in 80 minutes. Now, I say comfortably walk. That's not even a fast walk pace or not. I can, if I've increased to a fast walk, I've already done it like 4 or 5 times in the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so, and getting about 65, 67 minutes is reasonable if I incorporate some running into this. But ultimately, finish. I just want to get a time. So the reason I'm doing the video today was I picked up the race packet today. So I got my race bib. I got the t-shirt that came with it. It said pick up race packet, so I thought there was going to be like the route of the race in there, or some type of other information like what to do before, during, and after the race. And there just wasn't anything like that. There was the bib, and the shirt, and that's it. Although that shirt is 100% cotton, and given how abrasive cotton can be, I don't think I'm going to be wearing that, even though it's probably fine for the kind of short distance that we're actually going to be running. Now, I say short distance in compared to a half and a full marathon, not just compared to my ability of running something. I've never run a mile before, much less 4 miles. And I'm not going to run 4 miles on Tuesday, but I am going to complete the whole 4-mile route. So after the race on Tuesday, I am going to create another video just to give an update on how it felt for the first time out. Is this, now that I've seen the actual formal running event, is this something I can see me doing for the next 5, 10, 20 years, for instance? I don't know that. I don't know what it will be like until I actually start doing it. So also, my video editing skills are negligible. So if there are going to be future videos, expect low production quality at the start, but these videos will give me an excuse to work on video editing. Unless I can rope my brother into helping me out with that. But he didn't hear that. So that's kind of where I am right now. There's nothing left to do but run the race. And as intimidated as I am by it, it's something that's been on my mind all month long, and I'm excited for it. So let's just do it, see how it goes. I'll report on Tuesday, give an update.